Why, hello there, and welcome back to That Was Today in Thailand with me, your crazy, kooky host. Yes, it is Dr. Mark Sabian coming at you live from positively perfect Phuket, Thailand. Or should I call this one frustrated as intent city with Thailand's happiest hobo. I'm sure by now everybody has seen either on the news, TikTok, Instagram, or perhaps even in real life themselves, a tent city. Guys, it's absolutely terrible. You have people throughout the world who, sadly enough, are struggling so bad financially that they have to live in tents. They can't afford to live in homes for whatever reason it is, be it, mental health issues, financial problems, challenges, addictions, whatever. All around the world, especially in North America, almost every single major city has a tent city encampment within it. And just this week, the Thai authorities had to remove some tourists, believe it or not, tourists that were living here on Patong Beach in tents, simply because of the fact that they came to Paradise Island, and it being high season, they could not afford to get hotels. Instead, they decided that they were going to come down and turn Patong Beach into their own campground, their own playground. And I gotta tell you something, this pisses me the off. I cannot believe that anybody would come to another country and live like that. Now, I know I make jokes about being Thailand's happiest hobo, etc., etc., and I will in this video explain to you why I call myself Thailand's happiest hobo. But this is not about, broke backpackers from Denmark jokes or anything like that. And again, to all my Danish brothers and sisters around the world, my deepest apologies for that joke in that video. I'll put a link to my apology video below. But guys, honestly, why would anybody go to another country and live like a homeless person? Especially in a bustling tourist area like Patong. You can't imagine how strange it was the other day, and I'm going to tell you just how naive I am, and perhaps I do see Phuket through rose-colored glasses, I'm not sure. But I was actually down on the beach on my birthday, walking around December the 9th. Thank you for all the belated birthday wishes in the comment section below. But I was showing a friend of mine all around the beach, and all of a sudden I came across these tents. And here's how naive and stupid I am. I actually said to them, oh, they're not living on the beach, don't worry. These guys have the tent set up because in the daytime it gets really, really hot. And I have seen people set up tents so that when it gets scalding hot, they can go inside and get a little reprieve from the sun. That's not what was going on, however. These guys were actually living down here on the beach in tents. Paradise Island, bustling with tourists. There's all kinds of people here trying to enjoy themselves, and you've got some idiot living in a $20 tent, shaving, brushing their teeth in the morning with people walking by them. I can't believe it. I don't understand what type of person, I'm not going to call them a tourist, I'm not going to call them a traveler. I don't understand what kind of person would go to another country and do that. It absolutely blows my mind. I can't believe it. And I am so happy, and here I'm going to catch some flack because I know that, again, people in the world are struggling, but I'm so happy that the Thai authorities came down and removed them, because the last thing we want is this to turn into some tent city. This is paradise. This is one of the world's top tourist destinations, and if you've got to navigate through a tent city, nobody's going to want to come here. And I'm going to tell you something, Thailand really, really needs to recover from COVID. This place's tourism industry has been decimated by the whole pandemic, by everything that happened, and it hasn't improved that much. Here we are during what they call high season, and as you can see behind me, it's not crazy busy like it was before 2020, that's for certain. And if they allow people to come and live like hobos, guess what? They're not going to, it's not going to recover, because people like me are just simply not going to I'm not going to stay. I'll go someplace else because I don't want to live with a bunch of broke, homeless tourists. If I wanted to do that, I'd go back to North America and I could live there. I mean, even in the city that I live in, beautiful New Brunswick, Canada, we have tent cities in every major city that we have, and we only have 3, but we have 10 cities in each one. And I'm so thankful that the Thai authorities came down and removed this one, because it's great to pretend you're a hobo, it's great to laugh about being a hobo, but living like a hobo in Thailand on a tourist visa? Really? Come on, guys. You know, if you can't afford a hotel room, don't go on vacation. If you can't afford your vacation, don't go on vacation. I've had this conversation before where you have these people that are sitting on the streets begging for money, tourists with signs that say backpacking across Thailand. Please, any support would be nice. No, I'm not giving you anything. And again, I'm so happy that they removed these tents, because it's unbelievable that people would come to Thailand and live in tents. Now, I fully understand that there's people that, you know, go backpacking, they go hiking, they go into remote areas, and they tent. I fully get that. I'm not trying to shame anybody that does that. What I'm talking about are people that come to a city, to a tourist area like this, and set up an encampment on the beach. It's wrong. It should not be allowed. And again, I am so happy that they have the power and the ability to remove it like that. Don't you wish they could do the same thing back in North America? You know, there are definite benefits to this system. I promise you, there truly are. So I've actually never talked about this in any of the videos, quite honestly, because I don't like talking about other YouTubers. Listen, there are some guys that I like, there's some guys that I tolerate, and then there's people that I wouldn't watch them if you paid me to watch them. And that is where the Happiest Hobo moniker came from. A couple of years ago, I was doing cost of living videos every single month, getting them out there, just trying to get some traction, you know, trigger the algorithm. So anyways, I was doing the videos about living in Thailand on $1,000 a month. As you guys know, I lived for 1.5 years on $1,000 a month for a social media experiment. And in doing so, I apparently upset a local YouTuber here on Phuket, who, I'm not gonna say which one, but you guys can figure it out pretty easy. Anyways, he took one of my cost of living videos and he absolutely shit all over me, going on about how I'm lying about this, I'm lying about that. And what he did was he mimicked my video. So if you look at the chronological order of our 2 videos, they are identical. When I'm talking about food, he's talking about food. When I'm talking about accommodations, he's etc., etc., etc. And the entire time he's going on about how him and his girlfriend are spending twice as much as I am, and that I'm an absolute liar. What I'm telling you is not true, blah, 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 blah. And again, guys, I don't like talking about other YouTubers. However, I'm sure you can see where this is going, because he's talking about 2, not 1. So guess what? At the end of it, his budget is almost, wait for it, twice as much as mine. Go figure. I mean, honestly. So at the end of it, he goes and says, listen, if you're living on that budget, you're living like a hobo, and you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're an absolute hobo, blah, 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 blah. I took offense to it at first, and then one of my friends said to me, well, you're the happiest hobo I've ever met. And boom, there it came. And that's why I call myself the happiest hobo. Thanks, you absolute idiot. I really appreciate it. So is there a solution? Is there a way to stop Thailand from becoming a tent city? Well, guys, there definitely is. And I know that people are going to shit on me for this one, but I'm going to flat out say it. I truly believe that if you are applying for a tourist visa, you should have to meet a bare minimum financial threshold, especially during high season. I'm not sure what that threshold is going to be, but let's say you're granted a 30-day tourist visa. I think that you should have a bare minimum of $1,500 US. That would allow you $50 a day. You're going to be able to at least stay in a hostel. You're going to be able to eat. You're going to be able to get around transportation-wise, etc., etc. Now, before anybody jumps on me in the comment section, I'm going to tell you with absolute clarity that almost every single country in the world does this. And if you think that they don't, please do a little bit of research. I know for a fact that in Canada, the border guards have the ability to ask you to prove what type of finances you have in order to be granted access and entrance into Canada. During the interview process, if they feel that you don't have the ability to sustain yourself, pay for yourself, you are going to be denied entry into Canada. I know for a fact that the United States does it because I've been asked myself going across the border, how much money do you have? How much money do you have in your checking account? Blah, 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 blah. I've seen it happen myself personally. I know custom agents in Canada who have said that yes, we do this all the time, because the last thing they want to do is get into a situation where somebody is homeless in Canada or living in a tent. So this is, I think, the simplest way to solve this problem, and I would have no problem with it, and I truly hope that Thailand does that, because again, tourism here has been decimated and it hasn't come back to where it was pre-pandemic, whatever you guys want to call that episode that we went through. You know, was it crap that we had to go through it? Yeah, but you know, at the end of the day, we've gotten through it, and now hopefully moving forward, tourism here in Thailand is going to pick up. But I can promise you this much, a lot of tourists from certain countries are scared and intimidated by tent cities, and they're not going to want to come down. They're not going to feel safe. They're going to be essentially scared shitless and frustrated as that they spent all that money coming to paradise only to find hobos living on the beach. Until next time, guys, listen, please, if you're coming to Thailand to live your best life or have your best vacation, make sure that you can afford it. And if you can't afford it, stay home, work a little bit harder, save your pennies, save your bots, and come back then. Until next time, guys, cheers.